What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with UFC analyst questions if Khamzat Chimaev could swim in deep waters versus Dricus Du Plessis. Din Thomas thinks Khamzat Chimaev would struggle against UFC middleweight champion Dricus Du Plessis. Du Plessis wants Chimaev next and has opened up as a betting underdog in a potential matchup against the undefeated Phenom. Although Chimaev has torn through most competitions so far, Thomas points to his 2 decision wins over Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman as a cause for concern. I think Khamzat is a sprinter. If you were to make fights 1 5-minute round, Khamzat beats anybody in the world, any weight class. But you can't fight championship-level fights for 5 rounds at the pace where he's at his best. If he fights like that at his best, I think Dricus is so durable and he's so smart that he'll be able to withstand that. Now they're swimming in deep water, and Khamzat can't swim that deep. Thomas sees Du Plessis weathering Chimaev's early storm and dragging him to the championship rounds, where Chimaev has never been tested. I think that by the 3rd round, Khamzat is like, alright, I don't really know. This guy is not going away. Let's say he does pace himself a little better. We always talk about this cardio thing, but cardio is really just being able to manage whatever pace you have based on the skill set you have. That's really what it comes down to. Like, if you have a very limited skill set and you're forced to be in situations that you're not comfortable in, you're going to have bad cardio. But when you have a very well-rounded skill set and you can pace yourself better, you're going to have good cardio. That's really what it comes down to. Colby Covington is still annoyed he never had a chance to fight Dustin Poirier in the UFC. Colby and Dustin are former teammates who became rivals when Colby left the American Top Team. No word on the Dustin fight. He's been scared of my shadow for years, ever since we trained together at that old gym. The guy just knows what I bring to the table. He knows he can't beat me. He can't even get a lucky punch on me. He's not even willing to try like his friend Jorge Masvidal. At least he tried. Dustin doesn't even want to try. He's going to go into retirement knowing that I owned his soul, and he didn't defend his family's honor and legacy. It's clear Colby Covington is not a fan of Dustin Poirier, and he is annoyed he will never get a chance to fight him. Ilia Topuria envisions devastating scene in potential Islam Makhachev super fight. UFC featherweight champion Ilia Topuria is confident he would knock out lightweight champion Islam Makhachev because he believes a higher power has already determined it. I really believe that I can beat the current champion Islam. I really think that. He's a great champion. You can't be a world champion by chance. You have to do things great. He's a beast. I like to fight with people that the fans think that it's going to be very competitive. That kind of expectation I like to create. With Islam, I'm going to have that. Doing again the rematch with people that I already fought, I don't think that I'm going to have the same kind of expectations, for the fans. The next fight for Topuria is yet to be announced. Rumors have swirled that Volkanovski could land a title rematch. In the rematch, I'm sure I'm going to knock him out once again if we fight again, or I will submit him. I will do the same things, but at the same time, you can't joke with that guy. Gilbert Burns defends Sean Strickland amidst UFC 312 criticism. Calling fans disrespectful and forgetful, Gilbert Burns has defended Sean Strickland's performance against Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 312. The Brazilian is among the few fighters defending Strickland when even the latter's longtime coach, Eric Nixick, has shifted grounds. Another thing, Sean didn't get the defense. Sean was falling. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't feeling good, whatever. We're never gonna know, right? But to say, oh, he talks a lot, he doesn't back it up, I don't like that. I think the guy backs it up many times. He backed it up against Imavov. He backed it up against my guy Brendan Allen. He backed it up against so many guys, right? Paulo Costa, Adesanya. Bro, he beat a lot of the best guys. And people are saying, oh, he just talks, he doesn't do much. I think that's very disrespectful. Burns claimed that people's memories have become photographic in the modern world, as they've clearly forgot Strickland's impressive wins over Nasruddin Imavov, Paulo Costa, Israel Adesanya, and Brendan Allen. It's the TikTok days where you swipe, you see something nice, swipe again, and then it's gone. But it wasn't long ago the guy was the champion, fighting everybody. Burns last fought Sean Brady in September 2024 and is scheduled to return on UFC 314 on April 12, 2025. The veteran is on a 3-fight losing streak, and only a solid win can help him remain in the title race. Paul Hughes doesn't expect to reconcile with Conor McGregor anytime soon. Like many Irish fighters, Hughes looked up to the former UFC 2-division champion. Everyone's seen my response to it. It was what it was. It ended up a lot of people done the fighting for me in terms of the comments and the pushback. So yeah, it was what it was. Even at the time, I did not take it personal. I think, unfortunately, it's not the Conor we once knew in, say, 2016. People were saying, is it sad to hear that from you idol or someone you looked up to? Unfortunately, that's not the person that tweeted that message. It's of course not something I wish on anybody. I kind of think it's a sad thing, but that's just what it is. With McGregor claiming that Northern Ireland is not a part of Ireland, Hughes can't take a personal attack on his background lightly. Right now, I would say no, because of not me personally. I can make up with anybody, but more so because of where I come from and how deeply insulting it was, the thing that he said to the people. Where I come from, it's probably the worst and most disrespectful thing you could say to someone is that they are not Irish, being from the north of Ireland that I am. On that behalf, it wouldn't be mendable right now. Paddy Pimblett won't shy away from a 155-pound scrap with Ilia Topuria. People don't understand how much bigger I am than Ilia. I'm so much bigger than him, people don't realize. I'd love to do a stare down with him, just so everyone could see how much bigger I actually am than him. While Pimblett recognizes Topuria's skills inside the octagon, he believes El Matador still has work to do to solidify his place among the 145-pound greats. Don't get me wrong, he's very good. Just because I don't like him doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and lie. He's a very good fighter, he is. But I also think he got fast-tracked to the belt because Volk had cleared the featherweight division out already. I think he got fast-tracked to the belt. He'd only beat Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett and got a title shot. He didn't even have to beat Brian Ortega or Yair Rodriguez or Arnold Allen. He skipped these fighters and got to fight for the belt just because Volk had cleared the division out. I personally don't think he knocked Volk out unless Volk got head-kicked 12 weeks before by Islam. Stipe Miocic reveals advice he'd give Tom Aspinall against Jon Jones. Stipe Miocic shared the octagon with Jon Jones in the final fight of his career, so he knows a little bit about what the UFC heavyweight champ brings to the table. Don't do what I did. What are you going to do? But yeah, Tommy, that guy is super tough. He hits hard, he moves well, he's a big man. I think he stays calm in the situation, and whatever happens, if he stays calm, I think he'll be fine. Miocic returned to the octagon after a near 4-year layoff to face Jones in his quest to become a 3-time champ. The 19-fight UFC veteran says Jones was everything he was built up to be. With Jones, he's one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky. Ilia Topuria responds to Conor McGregor. In the eyes of many MMA fans, Ilia Topuria is the rising star who mirrors the path Conor McGregor once blazed and could even surpass his global fame. The UFC featherweight champion has been advocating for a major event in Spain, and the UFC could capitalize on his growing star power to break into the Spanish market. However, El Matador has made it clear that he doesn't aim to replicate McGregor's journey. While McGregor was once an idol in the MMA world, Topuria is determined to avoid the same pitfalls. That led to the Irishman's alleged downfall. I don't know, that guy is so sick. He has some problems in his inside world, you know. At the same time, when he was starting in MMA, he was an idol for all of us. He was a great fighter representing good values. He did a lot for the sport, but at some point, he betrayed all the values that put him in that point. I want to be more than Conor McGregor. The values he represents, it's not the same values I represent. So that's why I think I'm going to be even bigger than him. I'm bigger than him right now at this point.